Hello, all you folks out there in Radio Land, except it's not Radio Land. How are you? It is Stream World. Welcome to Tuesday evening. I am Sybil Wilkes and What You Need to Know, and we are awaiting the arrival of J. Anthony Brown. Just a little housekeeping for those of you who are just new to this broadcast. It is What You Need to Know, and it is based upon our newsletter. And every day, Monday through Friday, we send out an email of 5 things you need to know. And this is a part of it, is the evening part of this. And if you would like to be a part of our What You Need to Know news crew and our our growing queendom, please email us, send us an email at sybilwilkes.com. Go to sybilwilkes.com, give us your email and your name, and we will have it in your email box every morning, Monday through Friday. About 30 minutes, maybe 38, 40 minutes past the hour, sometime like that. But definitely, we will have it in there in your email box at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. As we are looking for J. Anthony Brown. Hello, Mr. How are you, Mr. Brown?
I'm doing good, Sybil. I'm in my warehouse. It's hotter than a mofo warehouse /
It looks
garage.
like a warehouse. Yeah, it looks like a warehouse.
Where I have all
but
my
everything like
stuff.
You is very neat and orderly. And
yeah,
you don't
it is.
like
Yeah. No thanks to me. I have to thank my workers for doing that. I've hired 3 people to help me very well, and but we're getting ready to send it all to Amazon, so I won't be doing any of this anymore.
Amazon?
You know another Amazon? You know of another?
I thought maybe you're sending it to the river or something.
Amazon,
I didn't know.
Amazon meaning they're going to ship it all out for me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do it that way. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Amazon with the symbol that always looked like a posable penis to me.
You know why they named it Amazon, don't you?
Why did they name it Amazon?
From A to Z.
Yeah, that's what he said.
We ship from A to Z.
They do it all. They do it all for you. So Jay,
we break some shit along the way.
That's not a good way to start your relationship with the people that are going to be sending your.
Funny story. I got to tell you a funny story. So I'm moving, right, and I hired a company to move me, and they're going to move everything that I'm not getting taken with me. So the guy called me on the phone. He gave me a price. I said, cool. I said, now could you tell me before you pack what percentage of shit you're going to break? Just so I know.
I bet that went over real well.
Yeah, I think stuff's gonna get broke just because I said that.
Right. I'm like, 1, 2. How about 25%? No, maybe 30%.
25%, you asshole. How about that?
So Jay, let's talk about what's going on in the news.
Oh my God, it's so much, Sybil.
As the day has gone on, America's governor no more, Andrew Cuomo, is in more hot water. Another woman. Remember back in the day when Tiger Woods was in trouble with the whole having affairs with a number of women, and like every day there was a new 1 or 2 or 3 women that came out. Well, now there is a 6th woman who is charging Andrew Cuomo with sexual harassment allegations. She claims the governor touched her inappropriately, and she has lodged her complaint with the attorney general.
Yeah. You mean Keisha? Letitia? Oh, if Letitia got the case, his ass is in a lot of trouble. Letitia is waiting for shit to happen on some of these guys. He did what? I got it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I got you, girl. I got you.
I got you, girl. Right.
He was in a conference call with reporters this afternoon, claimed he was unaware of this latest allegations. He also has denied touching women, but said that if he did, it was not inappropriate. He says, I'm not aware of any claim. As I said, this is very simple. I never touched anyone inappropriately. I never made any inappropriate advances. No one ever told me at the time that I made them feel uncomfortable. Obviously, there are people who said after the fact they felt uncomfortable. The woman has not filed she did not file a formal complaint with the governor, but did go straight to the attorney general.
Ooh. What is up with all these rich guys not having a Mac game? All you gotta do is have a strong ass mat game, and you don't have to be touching and grabbing and feeling and pulling on and licking on people. Just get your game together. Get your mat game together. Now you'll hear stories about me, Jay, just being a straight asshole, but I ain't grabbing and licking and touching, and I can't do it. So I don't work that way. And if it's only sexual, just put that up front. Everybody got an auntie that'll sell something. Everybody's got Sybil. Everybody's got an auntie that will sell some sex. She's a good Christian girl. She's behind in the rent. You need to seek out these people who want that done to you, and stop feeling and licking and touching and grabbing and sticking your hand where it don't belong. This guy, what a fall from grace, Sybil. I mean,
that's the title of the movie about his life. I'm betting that it will be.
It turns out he was an asshole. He was a mean person, but hell, I mean, when he was having those press conferences, you were like, damn.
Oh my God, he was the man.
Right.
Yeah. And showing America how it should be done in terms of handling coronavirus in your state, the largest state, the second largest state in the country, and doing all of these, holding all these press conferences. And in the meantime, he was just a very lonely,
licking and grabbing
old
and touching
man.
and feeling and licking and grabbing. And you know what? I know somewhere Biden's going, phew.
I did was a little shoulder rub, and
I'm glad I'm president.
I slipped through. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, bless his heart. Not bless his heart, but here's the conversation I want to hear that's not being heard, or at least maybe it's not even being had. Is, are guys talking about how they have to change things up because of Me Too, because of these allegations? So how does that conversation go?
The conversation goes, you can't make compliments anymore. You can't say nice dress. You can't say you look good. You can't say here's how you compliment a woman who looks really good.
Okay.
You see what I did there? Let me do that again. She's really fine. She looks good. You want to say something? Here's what you do.
Jay, do you remember back in the day when you used to, you and Tom would talk about watching a woman walk past or looking at a woman?
Yes, I would like to demonstrate that for you. You're with your lady.
Mm-hmm.
A lady comes from this direction. You know you want to look. You do not look and follow the ass. That's so disrespectful to follow. In your mind, you go, wow, and you're just following the ass. She's going to see you follow the ass. You want to look, she's coming from this way. You look this way.
Right.
And you wait.
For her to come walk into your...
Yes. It's almost like you feeling that's demonic. You go, oh, the devil. And you look away. And you wait. But Cuomo would be so free from this scandal, and not he lied about the deaths. I mean, why would you lie about that?
Yeah.
Why would you lie about the people? I mean, we would have accepted how many people died in nursing homes. We really would have,
Oh, Tanya Perry says Trump is making good on his threat against Cuomo. That's really interesting because
Trump wish he had something to do with this. Trump wish he had to do something to do.
And he's probably taking credit for it.
Yeah, he's taking credit for it. Cuomo messed up Cuomo, and Trump's got enough trouble to sick on. He is in a bad situation to even sick people on anybody else with Letitia all up in his ass. So it's just a matter of time that he gets his comeuppance, like the old people say.
Yeah, I used that word in a text today, and they're like,
comeuppance.
All right, quickly before we move on to the other information that we have for you this afternoon, are you following the story about the cancel culture of animated characters?
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew is one.
The latest
because
one.
is the latest one, and not because he's stinky, because they think that he is a rather lecherous character and very uh, sex over sexualized.
I
And
mean,
so,
here's what I was trying to find before I did the show, because I wanted to ask, what are some of the characters in, if you have them or if you could look up, that are in Space Jam? And I bet you, we went down the list, we'll find something wrong with all of these characters.
all
I
of
think
the animated characters,
all
yeah.
Froghorn Leghorn is in there. I think he's in there. In
Yeah,
there. He would beat the shit out of this dog for no reason. I mean,
right.
this dog was just minding his business. He'd lift the
And
dog's
forget
ass
about
up and hit him with a board. And why is he still in there? You know, Speedy Gonzalez was always he was a pimp. He was always trying to push his sister on somebody. That's pimping.
my sister. and we did not have well, it was an innocent time,
It was an
for all of us
innocent
that were
time,
watching. And also casting aspersions and making fun of people for their background, their ethnicity. That was just the way things were. It wasn't right, but
Right.
certainly, just like you said with Gonzalez, Speedy Gonzalez, and the accent there, and now they're saying all of these other characters in Disney. As a matter of fact, they're saying Dumbo. They're pulling Dumbo, Peter Pan, and other movies for being racist.
Peter Pan too?
Yeah.
Well, you might be right with Peter Pan, because Peter Pan was always a girl who played a boy. So you might have to put that one back in.
Yeah, girls did play Peter Pan.
Yeah. A girl who always played Peter Pan. And don't even get me started on Tinkerbell, but that's a whole different story.
and somebody is responding to Dr. K. Wood saying that they're waiting for them to get to Tweety Bird. And whatever happens.
Definitely, with him and that cat. And here you have a new cartoon that comes out called Tom and Jerry. And you have a mouse and a cat who basically beat the shit out of each other, and it's entertainment,
So is that for bullying? And so is that anti?
That would be. You're right. That would be bullying, Sybil. That would be bullying. Mm-hmm. I think you're right. But at the rate that they're going, nobody's going to be in Space Jams 2, but Michael Jordan, if he's going to be in,
and LeBron, right?
And LeBron James, James.
Okay, so Jay, I don't know. Were you? I don't know your television watching habits anymore.
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Right. Okay, Tom. So, did you watch the Oprah interview?
Yes, I did.
You did. Okay.
And let me tell you what I liked about it. And here's what what's her name? The light-skinned queen. What's her name? I don't know. Light-skinned princess. What is her name?
Is Megan, Duchess of Sussex. Yes.
How she didn't know the reaction of those people in that big ass castle with the way they treated people in the countries that they're controlling, that they would treat you the same way. How she didn't do her history and how she wasn't ready for that. I blame her for you. The queen is just a figurehead, but they control so many countries where they have this pure, straight racism. You've been to Jamaica, and it's broken up into the British side and to the regular side, where if you have dreadlocks in your head, you can't go on that side. What would make her think that they're going to accept her mixed baby in this family? I think from day one, they should have moved out and set up their own. They had enough money. And if they're going to treat Lady Di the way they treated Lady Di, and then hell up that moose ass fucking woman that Charles married, and and hold her to a high, who looks like a man, who they both look like men. Look like he married his brother. If they're going to hold her up to a high esteem and then treat Lady Di like they treated her, she had to know that this was what was going to come. So with
I think there was a lot of innocence and some ignorance on her part of knowing the history of the United Kingdom and the history with countries like India, like you said, Jamaica. And I agree with you. I don't think she knew, but I think that she, there was a lot of ignorance. And like she said, she was so far, she said that in the interview, she didn't know. She just didn't know how things were done. She didn't even know about curtsying and how she had to do that before the queen.
You almost want to say, you can't say it, but you want to say, but you can't say it. I mean, people are thinking in their mind, fuck the queen, but you can't say that.
No, you
You
cannot
can't
say
go
that. Right.
that because
Right.
the people who believe in the monarch that they have in that castle have such high esteem, and they really think that family is necessary. They rule no government. They have no say so in government at all. It's just a figurehead. But
that is a beloved figurehead, and the whole thing is as has been exemplified just in the British press. Because I want you to look at this with Piers Morgan, who was an anchor on Good Morning Britain, and now it's
I saw
Goodbye
that.
Piers.
Right.
Watch this.
So I think that we need to all take a step back, and I understand that you don't like Meghan Markle. You've made it so clear a number of times on this programme. A number of times. And I understand that you've got a personal relationship with Meghan Markle, or had one, and she cut you off. She's entitled to cut you off if she wants to. Has she said anything about you since she cut you off? I don't think she has, but yet you continue to trash her.
OK, I'm done with this.
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
So, do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can trash me, maybe not my own show.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do this.
This is absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen. 6:30 to 7 o'clock yesterday was incredibly hard to watch. Incredibly hard to watch.
This was really
hard to watch. Chris is an asshole. He's always been in that. But you know what?
Yeah.
Chris changed his dynamics when he moved over there. When he was over here, he sung a different song. Once he got over there and started doing his tea and crumpets and shit, he started, believing in the hype of the queen and bought and drunk the Kool-Aid. When he was over here, he seemed to be a little more critical when he had his late night show. Yeah. And now, it's just what he's doing to keep his foothold in so that he's able to go into the castle. He knows.
Well, he's out of a job now. I believe he's a racist and doesn't recognize racism. But thank God for people like Alex Beresford, that's the young man's name, who is the weatherman, who now should be taking Piers Morgan's place, I believe, there on that show, because he let him have it, and good for him for not just sitting back as the others were and not standing up for Meghan Markle. And this is really pointed to, I think it's going to show a difference, Jay, and you've been to London, you have experienced this. I think this is going to enable a lot of Black folks, Black Britons, to step up and to confront this really big problem of racism in that country.
Well, that's the problem you have with British news. I watch it from time to time, and you see very few Black people making comments on these all-white British stations, even on the radio. And it's easy, with satellite now, you have an access to stations that we never had before, and you can see that there are very few Black anchor people in Britain, and Piers needs to find out, and he'll find out real quickly, to find another Brit with an accent that is going to be
real easily. Real easily. And if they're smart, they will encourage. They will have because we have more British people like through CNN for us to watch than they do on their networks.
You're right.
So we will see what happens. I was totally engaged, and like others said, our friend April and John, it was riveting for me.
The only thing missing from that, when he was walking out, they should have played "You About to Lose Your Job."
No, he quit.
He quit. Yeah,
he quit. No, he quit. He walked off the set, and it was announced today on Good Morning Britain that it's goodbye, Piers.
Yeah, but it's like this: show of hands of people who give a fuck.
Right.
I don't see any.
No, you're right. You're right, and it's a big story over there. But they said. But just listen to this for a second. Following discussions with ITV, Piers Morgan has decided now is the time to leave Good Morning Britain. ITV has accepted his decision and has nothing further to add. That is the English way, very, very clipped. And he is not responding to any questions either.
Well, you've seen how they do in Parliament, how they talk over each other, and they don't really give a shit,
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the Queen has said, they're going to be moving on and they're taking these charges very seriously, and so we'll see what happens with them. So Jay, what you
Yes.
need to know newsletter is we tell people every day we have 5 stories that we want people to take a look at in order to be informed and empowered. And this revolves around the case that is being brought. They are investigating, bringing charges against Donald Trump. And this is the
I like the
racketeering.
PA. Racketeering, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is, that's more mobster-like, and
yes.
you think about that. But if you think about the way that he handled this, it is very mobster-like. And so that's why Fani Willis, who is the historic Black female district attorney in Fulton County, announced her office is examining charges against Donald Trump, which includes solicitation of election fraud, the making of false statements to local and state government officials, and, as you mentioned, racketeering.
Yes. I mean, when you pick up the phone and you call a governor to ask them to get votes for you that you don't have, and you only need one more, and he records it and he releases it. And this is like his second or third phone call that he's done. He got away with the first 2 when he called
when the Secretary of State,
yeah, he called him.
Raffensperger.
And so now, how many phone calls can you call and make to people to do you a favor when you've lost?
Right.
I don't know. But I think the racketeering thing is going to stick, because it's one of the reasons why Donald Trump wouldn't release his taxes. If you got something to hide, you hide it. If you ain't got, trust me, from a man who's had shit found out, okay? Take it from a man who thought he had some shit hidden.
And she hired a specialist attorney. He specializes in racketeering and bringing it about. And so this attorney that she brought on, he's written a pamphlet on this and how to work this case.
I think it's a Bible quote that says, I can't remember it. It's a Bible quote. It says, "Hell hath no fury like a woman going in your phone." It says, I
didn't know that was biblical.
Back then it was scroll. Hell have no woman fury like a woman going through your scrolls. So.
But updating it a bit.
Yeah, it's updated. Yes. It's been updated, right?
Yeah. This is the New Testament.
Yes. And which also proves why Jesus never got married. He needed a headache. He didn't. Let me stick to healing and preaching.
And walking.
and bringing people from the dead.
Right.
I don't need.
That's funny.
But funny. I think Trump's in a lot of trouble, and Trump knows it. And here's the other thing. I think they're giving Trump more power than they think he's going to have, because he's not on television anymore. That's a lot. You look at everybody who was on television and all of a sudden try to go to the internet. Yeah, you get followers. You do. Yeah. What's the guy who was on? They took off. Oh my God, who started his own? He was one of the first to be on television, and took him off. Oh man, we went to his
first to be up.
We went to his station. We went to his station when we were in.
Rick Dees.
Not Rick Dees, but I can't think of his name. But when you leave from television to the internet, that's a big drop, Sybil. That's a huge drop, and it's hard to build that audience. And most of his followers may not have the internet, or may not know how to get on the internet. They know how to tweet, but to follow him on the internet, and you're going to leave Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, I don't know, Sybil. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be as powerful as he thinks he's going to be.
Well, they're trying to keep his love alive, but I think you make a good point that there's going to be a precipitous drop.
What was that word?
It's going to be a quick and full drop.
There we go. That's much better. I watch the show when you do Myra J. and
Stephen Hill.
I'm like,
George.
I've had to look at it with a thesaurus. I'm like, what the hell? Like, Steve, where you get that word from? Steve, what the hell? Work with me here, 9th grade. Come on, we went to 9th grade here, Steve.
Hey, you went to trade school.
I know, huh? I don't.
You know how this goes. So yesterday was Monday was the International Women's Day.
Yes.
And as a part of this, Joe Biden marked International Women's Day by signing 2 executive orders aimed at advancing equality for women, especially women of color. The first order will form a gender policy council, which will focus on fighting systemic bias and discrimination, including sexual harassment. And I'm not sure if Andrew Cuomo will be involved in that. And it will also focus on transgender rights, which is really under fire.
This is what I was talking about, and it's such a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to say, don't get me wrong first, so that you don't get people all upset. But transgender rights are very important. But the voting rights it's like the voting rights and rights for African Americans have been marching and bitching and for a long time. And do the two go together? I've always said they don't. But some people said transgender is as much as important as the civil rights movement. I get civil rights. I understand that. But it's like we kind of get left with, to me, when I see him pass this bill and the voting rights bill has not been passed, and you have governors right now who are changing voting rights and voting programs across this country, and we don't have across the board voting rights bill. Transgender is important, but damn it, when are you going to do the voting rights bill? That's been sitting there for a long time.
Well,
that's just me.
To your point, and to your point, on Sunday, Bloody Sunday, he did sign an executive order extending and talking about voting rights. But you are absolutely right. The bill that is sitting in the House, that has been passed in the House, and as well as the John Lewis voting rights bill, it has not even been brought up yet, right? So you're absolutely right.
And from watching political news and knowing stuff about politics, an executive order don't mean shit. It really don't. It's not a law.
It's more symbolic. You're right.
It's more symbolic than anything. And so for him to sign and an executive order and pass out the pens, that's great. But you need the civil rights bill passed. You need the voting rights bill passed. You should have went ham, hog, and high water and kicked ass with the $15 pay raise
increase.
They didn't. And it's almost like we are in control of the Senate and the House and the White House, and we can't pass shit. I don't.
Jay, you sound like your girl. You sound like Nina Turner. And Nina Turner, for those of you who don't know, is a young woman. She is running for the United States Congress, and she was a state senator in Ohio. And I believe that she's going to run for Marshall Fudge's position once Marshall Fudge is finally brought into.
She also was on what's the guy with the mittens? She was on his campaign. Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, she campaigned for Bernie Sanders.
I was going to say Brad Sanders.
Yeah, but I was kind of, I kind of lost a little bit for her when she jumped on the Bernie Sanders bandwagon, because I just didn't think Bernie had a chance. And but now she's back. I've always liked her because even before she was with Bernie Sanders, I used to tell you about her.
Yeah.
And I saw her once in DC, so yeah, good for her. I hope she wins.
I do too. And I'm not mad at anybody for working with Bernie or for Bernie, because they really stand on principle.
They do. They really do.
And you need that. And you need people like her to be on Bernie's side and to work, to know how to work with the other side. And by the other side, I mean the more conservative part of the Democratic Party, in order to forge some kind of progress and a more progressive form of legislation, rather than some of the things that they will try to get passed simply because they're trying to curry favor with Republicans. Let me ask you a question,
because I've been thinking about this. Which party you think will implode more, or seems to have their act together? Because it seems that they're all imploding. It seems like the Republicans are imploding. So many people want to be in charge. Lindsey Graham is still got his head up Trump's ass. And so does Mitt Romney. So does Trey Gowdy. you know, and there's room for Mitch McConnell and my boy out of Texas, Ted Cruz, all of them.
Yeah.
But you do have these really, really radical right-wing groups that are starting to, you know, pull people off, and then you have the Democrats who don't seem to have their stuff together too. You actually have Democrats who voted against the bills that are in Congress that are up.
And that is distressing, and especially when you think about, and I'm not, you know, making light of it, but it is concerning, because when you think of how small of a margin the Democrats have in the House, and virtually, you know, a dead even in the United States Senate. But to answer your question, I think that the Republicans are imploding more, especially when you look at these 6 senators, 6 now, that have announced they're not running for re-election. And these are old school Republican guys, because they want to get away from this.
To me, that's the way they wuss out. They can wuss out, take the money and run, take your retirement, and now they speak lightly against Trump. Nobody is quitting and say he was an asshole, he was never good for the party. The ones who are doing that are getting lambasted, and it's almost they're making their life a living hell. So nobody's speaking against Trump. And like I said earlier, I don't think Trump is in charge as much as in charge with the trouble that he has, that the Republicans think he has. And like Lindsey Graham said today, he could either be great or he could destroy the party altogether. When Lindsey Graham said that made sense. That made a lot of sense, because he is a monster and he can destroy the Republican Party.
I think that they're. I don't see them destroying. I see them destroying the Republican Party as it is now known, and moving, perhaps separating into a different party. The more traditional Republicans.
Well, traditional for the Republicans means, who are you going to bring into your party? Where are the new people going to come from? You're going to bring blacks in. You're going to bring Hispanics in. You're going to bring. Where are the new people going to come from? Now, I understand that the new leadership might change. Keep your eye on Tim Thott, Lindsey Graham Carter, and what's her name? Haley. What's her name? Out of South Carolina.
You're Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley,
the former governor.
We also kind of got it through the grapevine that if Trump runs again, he's not going to run with Mike Pence.
Sure.
And we know that. I mean,
sure.
And why would you go to a meeting where the last time you were with these people, they tried to kill your ass? Why would you go? I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think people are just so desperate and reaching out, trying to find some group, some club to which they feel they belong, and reaching out, because, you know, back in the day, the conservative pack, they really liked Mike Pence. He was a big deal. And
I mean, he was against abortion, and he was holy, and he calls his wife mother, and he won't go any place.
He won't be in the presence of another woman without.
And I don't think a woman wants to be in the presence of Mike Pence unless his wife is there.
And Andrew Cuomo could probably have a meeting together.
Yeah, I mean, he was so afraid when they were attacking the Capitol that his hair turned black. But he, you know, so for him to speak out now and just, you know, he's drinking the Kool-Aid, you know, which is what a good Republican does, drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, a good Democrat will do it too, in order to appease and to get along. I think that I don't think we can say that, you know, one party above the other, but definitely the Republicans are not just drinking the Kool-Aid; they're gulping it. At this point, many of them.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm open to you know, I like the conversation, and I think we should keep having it here. Everybody joining the conversation, because it is worth having, and we have to keep our eyes on it. But as you pointed out, we also have to keep forcing them to, and especially those Republicans who are our senators. Who voted against the coronavirus bill, every single one of them, representing our states. We need to hold their feet to the fire as well.
You're absolutely right, Sybil. And I think one of the most important things to do now is really, 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 really keep your eye on these local elections that are coming up. And don't go, well, Biden's in the White House, we got this made. There's a big chance that Republicans can take the House back with this next election coming up. Let's keep your eyes on the local election. Not only will they take it, but they're making it harder for people to vote. And that's what they do. I mean, my buddy Brandon Boland used to do this bit whenever Negroes start to advance. We got a new rule, new rule, new rule. All right, we got a brand new rule now. So the new rule.
This is what is it? Hundreds of bills in these Republican legislatures, Jay, in order to reduce our voting access.
Voting rights,
voter suppression is real, and so
and I'm just calling for Kamala and Biden. The Voting Act bill needs to be passed. It needs to be across the board. Here's how you vote. Here's when you vote. Here's where you can vote, and stop these bullshit ass governors from changing the rules so that they can win. And here's the thing. If they change the rules, I think most people will hate them so much that they will adapt to the rules and vote their asses out. I really think they will.
Right. Yeah. And also, in addition to our voting, we also have to support those anti-voter suppression organizations. We have to support those groups that are trying to advance our voting rights, like Black Voters Matter. It's really important that we support them and that we get out there and fight these hundreds of bills that are going through these Republican legislatures. And at the same time as we're fighting them, we also have to get people involved to run for those positions, run for the state house and the state senate, as well as the governor and lieutenant governor and all of those that have made such an effort to change the rules.
Stacey Abrams should be the governor of Georgia. You know, it was stolen from her, and hats off to what she did. She said, okay, if you're going to steal it, we're going to register people. And what did they do right after they lose? They changed the rules. They changed the rules. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the way them types is. Look,
that's the way it is.
The Iowa governor just did it. She just signed a bill, and taking away the number of early voting days. Jay, they even reduced the election day itself by an hour. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, what? It's crazy.
Like one thing I have to say for the Republicans, they're set on, their whole mindset is, how can we cheat? No matter who you are, they all agree to that. Now, Democrats, there may be things that we don't agree on, but with Republicans, they all agree on, how can we cheat? How can we stop these Negroes, these Blacks, these Browns, these Asians, these people from voting against us, because we have nothing to offer. We're not trying to help anybody. We're going to concentrate on Mr. Potato Head because
look over there, and then while they're looking over there, they're doing something over here. Right. Oh, before we move on, I need to talk about this lawsuit against McDonald's and the Black franchisee.
Long overdue. Long overdue.
The former baseball player Herb Washington, he once owned 27 McDonald's locations and now only owns 14. He claims that he was pressured by McDonald's to sell several of his stores, including 7 over the past 3 years, to white franchisees. He was forced by the franchisor McDonald's. According to McDonald's, lawsuits like these on their face are illogical. But be that as it may, he is suing them and hoping to bring a spotlight onto the situation there at McDonald's.
Well, it's not been a secret for years that Black McDonald's owners are treated worse than white McDonald's owners in terms of selling your business. If it starts to grow, we want you to move it. Some of the practices that McDonald's have, I'll go there. Don't get me wrong, the fries are off the chart, but they won't let you build up your business and pass it on to your family. They tell you where to set your McDonald's, and most of the Black-owned McDonald's are in Black neighborhoods. They won't give Black owners prime spots in white neighborhoods. And when you go on to McDonald's, you don't know who the hell on it. All you want is fries and a shake and a fish sandwich. You don't know. But the Black McDonald's owners know, and they know the treatment they've been getting from McDonald's, and they should be sued and made to do the right thing.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. And there is and just to close this out, the franchisees, James and Daryl Bird, filed a suit against the restaurant chain. 77 Black former franchisees representing 300 restaurants have filed a case, and compensatory damages in that discriminatory lawsuit could reach close to $1.5 billion.
Right.
So
It's not a secret. It's not a secret that McDonald, don't even stop with McDonald's. A lot of the food chains, if you're Black, you can't get a franchise.
that's
You
right.
know, a lot of
So
them.
Jay, want to and we could reference the McDonald's movie, but we do want to go to your video for our question of the day.
Okay, let's see it. I don't even know what you're playing. Brown, I got me some Hotter Than the Mofo Nuts, and I'm watching my favorite movie, Raisin in the Sun, Sidney Poitier. It's his best fucking movie. Watch out there now.
So Jay has a wide variety of favorite movies. I think this is just one of your favorite movies.
Yes. Yes.
I think truth be told, I think Sound of Music is one of your favorite movies.
Yes. And
I
I'm
think
not
A Face
ashamed.
in the Crowd is one of your favorite movies.
Yes.
I think, you know,
The
you
Wizard,
just
are you going to leave out The Wizard of Oz? Really?
The Wizard of Oz, The Sound of Music, all of those, you know, the singing and
Godfather
dancing.
1 and 2, not 3.
Never forget it. And what is 3?
It's a coaster. If you have it on DVD, it makes a great coaster. You can put it on your table and set a cold drink on. That's 3.
That's all the good Godfather 3 is.
Yes.
So we're asking people to share with us what's your favorite movie. And like you, I have a number of favorite movies. And I don't want to, you know
leave
what?
anybody out.
Yeah.
Well, let's go with this. Let me ask you this: the scariest movie you've ever seen? Your scariest movie?
Alien.
What?
Yeah, that frightened me to death. I stayed up that night after and just stood. I couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't turn out the lights. Anything where, you know, it's like that. Or, you know, even like the Indiana Jones, the original Indiana Jones movie with all the snakes and stuff.
Here's I don't know if I can top it, but when I was 7 years old, my parents, God bless their souls, took me to see Dracula. Dracula scared the bejeebus out of me. Now, the scariest movie right now for me is Amityville Horror.
Oh, that's still a good one. Yeah.
Amityville Horror. And The Exorcist didn't scare me that much, but Amityville Horror.
I love The Exorcist. For whatever reason, I love The Exorcist.
Everything started happening in Amityville Horror around 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Which is when I'm up.
Right. Yeah. The Exorcist. Yeah. I was just, I was all in The Exorcist. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have a lot. We have people. Oh, good. Okay. Let's see. The Birds. Oh, with Alfred Hitchcock when you were young. Yeah. Yeah. That was another good one. Yeah. Freddie. Reggie Barnes. Thank you for that one. Freddie is a good one. Any of the Freddie franchise movies is a good one. And these are all a lot of scary. The Exorcist is by far the scariest. Really?
I don't know.
You know, well, Jaws was scary to me, but not The Exorcist so much. And I don't know why.
But you know what? It's so weird to look at a movie that scared you when you were young and go back and look at it. Because when you look at Jaws now, you go, that's a fake ass shark.
Right. I have to say the scariest one I saw was the Phantasm series. Yeah,
those were pretty scary. Right. Mm-hmm.
Those were good. Those are
and
scary.
Psycho was
Oh yeah. My mother, she used to love that
Pet
stuff.
Cemetery was
Pet
pretty
Cemetery,
scary, right?
Yeah. Stephen King had some really good. His books made into movies were very good. Very good.
And then you have somebody like Stephen King just nail it, hit it. And then you have H.M. Shyamalan.
Oh my God. He is the biggest waste of M. Night Shyamalan. Oh my God. Oh, he's the biggest waste. Devil's Reign with Ernest Borgnine. I do not know that movie.
I tell you a really good Ernest Borgnine movie with him and Lee Majors. It's called The Emperor of the North Pole.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about Lee Majors plays a hobo that's trying to ride on Ernest Borgnine's train, and he's set on not having hobos. It was done in the 60s and 70s.
A hobo.
Hobo, that's what they were called back then. Not homeless people. They were hobos, and
Hobos.
it's one of the best fight scenes I've seen in a movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's called The Emperor of the North Pole.
Okay,
check it out.
Let's check it out. Okay, so Liking Crooklyn, Color Purple, Sounder, Claudine,
and
Posse,
and Shaft.
Coffee, and Shaft. Oh,
okay,
right.
the first two Shafts. We do first two. We don't do Shaft. We don't do Shaft Goes to Africa. Okay, we don't fuck with that at all.
Claudine was one of my Sounder and Claudine. I will absolutely two of my favorite movies from childhood on. Color Purple, most definitely, and Roots, Color Purple, and Queen.
Maybe the movie Queen.
Oh, was that the TV? Was it a TV movie or was it? Because Queen Sugar is one of my favorite TV
I haven't
shows.
been watching Queen Sugar. Yeah.
I know because you've been busy, and with another one of my favorite TV shows, Assisted Living.
Because I Care. Have you seen that?
No, but you know who is raving about that? I think that's the series that Jackie Reed has been talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really good movie. I like that movie.
Is it a movie or is it a?
I think it's just a movie. I don't know if it's coming back.
Okay, but then it's not the same one I'm thinking about. It's not the same one I'm thinking about.
Okay.
So tell me about Because I Care quickly.
Because I Care has to do with how vulnerable you are once you become of a certain age. How if you get a doctor to say so that you can no longer take care of yourself, you will be awarded a guardian who can therefore take care of you, and they have the ability to take your money and sell all your goods. And that's what this person does. That's what the movie does.
Wow.
I thought it was a good movie. I didn't like the ending. When you see it,
yeah, I guess not. And especially as we get older, we're thinking that's a legitimate question.
Yeah, all you need is a doctor to say that this person is no longer able to take care of themselves, and it goes to the state. And
Tiffany says it's called I Care a Lot.
That's the name of it. Yeah.
I Care a Lot. Okay. Four Colored Girls. Oh, that was a good one for me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a good one. And Malcolm X.
Training
Day. Malcolm X was also a favorite of mine. Jay, let's move on to speaking of movies and your favorite movies. Let's talk a little entertainment. I know some people may be over it already, as we're getting a lot of comments or lack thereof. But I got to ask you about Coming to America, the sequel, and your thoughts on it.
Sybil, I know you're going to say I'm crazy. I love this movie. I thought it was great. I really did. I thought it was smart what Eddie did. That make a movie that's just directed to your audience, which is Black. You know, I talked to my white friend Ross. He said
he didn't get it.
He said Black people should be ashamed. And I said, Ross, there's no way your white ass can speak for Black people. You know, you just can't do that. So he said he didn't like it. I thought it was great. Now here's the problem I had with the movie. There were people in the movie that I thought who I know are funny, but either their bits ended up on the cutting floor or they weren't allowed to be funny. But some of those scenes to me were not funny. The barbershop scene, killer. I thought Leslie did a great job. I knew who that boy was. I had never seen him in my life. So.
Oh, yes, you have.
Really?
Yeah, you've seen him before. The young man that played his son. Yeah, he had a TV show on CBS not too long ago. Jermaine Fowler is his name, and you've seen him before.
I remember him. So
who looks like DL should have been his father.
No, he looks like the guy who had the show with the golly,
Mike and Molly.
No, with
your friend,
the family, Jesse Smollett. He looks like the guy who hosted the Smollett. Remember the Smollett?
Ralph. Was it Ralph Harris?
Ralph Harris, yes. He looked like young Ralph Harris to me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought he did a good job. I thought he did a really good job. And I thought the story, the way the movie ended, Wesley Snipes was phenomenal in the movie. I thought he did a great job. It's good to see him, play something other than just strictly kicking ass. And the ending of the movie with sexual chocolate, I laughed out loud. So, I liked it. I liked it
too. I liked it too. A lot of, even when I posted, some people said they were disappointed with it. But I really enjoyed it, and I was glad to see a lot of those folks still back in there. I think I agree with some of the scenes that you refer to in terms of like I wanted Lunell to have a breakout moment. I wanted Lunell and like the James Amos character, Mr. McDonald, to get together or something, like that. But you can't have everything. And maybe they did.
But I thought the funeral scene was great. Oh my God, I love that. That was I mean, who don't want to go like that? I like that was great.
Right? Right?
Yeah. I think I'll die now.
and Tiffany, you are absolutely right. A lot of people got fed by being a part of this movie.
By being a part of that movie.
Like hundreds of Black people that he put to work in this movie.
And here's the thing: the house
at Tyler Perry Studios. And did you see the picture? Did you see one of the pictures where the cast of Coming to America met with the cast of Black Panther, and they were both filming on his studio lot. It was incredible where Wakanda, meets Zamunda. It was beautiful.
Well, see, that's a question that I posted on Instagram. Which fictional land would you rather live in, Wakanda or Zamunda? Which one would you rather live in?
That's a tough call, because everything was so great in Zamunda. But I gotta go with Wakanda.
Yeah. I mean, the technology alone, I got to be there.
Yeah, that's what did it for me. Yeah. I mean, and just the kick-ass all-female security, and as you say, the technology and everything. It was just, I would go with Zamunda, but with Wakanda. But I just thought that was so great. And Tyler's just amazing.
And you know me, when I look at a movie, I'm looking at, because I have this tailoring background, the styles in this movie were just like, wow. Wardrobe has got to be awarded for doing a movie like this and making styles that are futuristic that you haven't seen, and which is what people do.
Ruth Carter is she just got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and she is an amazing.
She did Coming to America?
Costumer, yeah. I think she did Coming to America, and for sure she did Black Panther.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, she is, and there was so much fun. Oh, you weren't there on that cruise. That's when you had quit. When we did Black Panther costumes. I think you had. Well,
you gotta have some Coming to America pictures.
I've got to. Yeah. I've got to have.
When we dressed up like Coming to America.
Yeah, I can't find them, but I know that we have them, and I'll go to Rants and see if we can get some of those.
And post that because
one more thing I want to talk about, a show that I have absolutely adored and loved and can't wait now, is The Equalizer. I absolutely love.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
You are?
Yes, and who better to kick ass than Queen Latifah? Which when I watch it, I'm saying she held in all that ass kicking when she was doing the other show, because I'm sure there was some people on that set whose ass she wanted to kick.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love the relationship between her and her daughter. I love that, I love the guy who brings her in. I love it. I think it's great, so I just think it's a great show. I love it.
And may I also mention the police officer that is in the movie is cousin Tori. And what is cousin Tori's last name? Kittles. That's it. Okay, so the gentleman who plays the cop, the detective, his name is Tory Kittles, and he is a cousin of Ward White's. And and it's been great through Yolanda and Ward, watching his career advance, and so he's on there and really enjoying it from what I hear, and he should be, and it's a real, and I'm a big Lorraine Tucson fan as well.
It's a good movie. I think it's well written. I think the like I said, the relationship between her and her daughter, and her secret, and to be secret about what she's doing, is just a cool thing. And just showing up and beating the dog mess out of these men is just great.
And is this no? I don't think the relationships that she has in the TV show are the same as what Denzel had in the movie 1 and 2.
They're not. They're not.
No,
because Denzel didn't have. He didn't have
all of that around him.
Well, he did have a guy. Remember that guy that he befriended? To and I think it's and wouldn't it be cool if Denzel came on the show? Just as a cameo.
And don't think they're not thinking about that.
Oh,
Jay.
yeah.
That is
sort of like a pass the torch type thing.
Just passing, maybe, he's walking the street, she's on her bike, and just, hey, he looked familiar. One of those. So the good news about this show is that it has been renewed for season 2.
Good for her. Queen.
And 45 million viewers watched the Queen on the Equalizer. That's awesome. And that's why she's already gotten a renewal for season 2.
Well, see, that's the difference between us and England. We have a queen over here that we can respect.
Who's really cool.
That's really cool, as opposed to the queen across the waters that don't do a damn thing.
Look what you did there, Jay. You took the thing, the first part, and brought it over to the thing.
And not to mention, I even started talking about the group queen, which we love too. So it's a whole nother thing. We will rock you. We will rock you. But Sybil, I know it's National Ladies Month.
It's Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. What is it?
Yes.
What is it?
Women's History Month.
And in honor of women, I'd like to give you just a couple of sayings that women have introduced to us that have become famous. We don't know when they were said, but we know a woman said them. A woman said this, Sybil. A woman said, "Since you like your mom's cooking so much, why don't you let your mom cook for you, okay?" I don't know when it was said, but I know a woman said this. I don't know. Let me get this right. You picking cotton.
Did she say it just like that, Jay?
She said it just like that. Let me get this right. You're picking cotton till 12 o'clock at night? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I'm stupid. All right. I don't know when this was said, but I'm sure a lady said to Paul Revere. So you got to go tell everybody the British is coming. You just saw these people in the daytime. You didn't say a damn thing. Now you got to leave the house and tell everybody.
Ride your little horse.
Yeah, you got to go with your horse, and the British are coming. And last but not least, I'm sure Abraham Lincoln's wife said to him,
Mary,
stop complaining. You're the president. These are great seats. Now sit down and enjoy the show.
Oh, dear God. Okay. So I want to leave you with the words of a great woman. These are Yogi's Jewels, our daily inspiration. Worrying is like preparing for something bad that may never going to happen.
Never.
Yeah, absolutely.
Things we worry about are much bigger than the shit that really happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Much bigger.
So tell people how they can get a hold of all of your wealth and wisdom as well as your product. Jay, you say that for the very end.
I got one for you. HotterThanAMofo.com. Go to HotterThanAMofo.com to get my hot sauce and enjoy my nuts. Go to Artist of Soul to get my art. Check me out on the Sybil Wilkes Show every Tuesday, the Steve Harvey Show Fridays and Mondays, and my own radio show on iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's nice.
And that's cool. Look at that.
Jay, I forgot about that T-shirt. And Yolanda said, and it fits. Wow. Is that a schmedium?
It's a schmedium. But here's the thing about my shirts. When you wash them, they're a hand puppet. So, I mean, you get...
Jay, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you. I look forward to next Tuesday. All right, sweetie, everybody, have a good evening. Thank you.
Oh,
And
buy
you have
George Wallace's book, please. Go buy George Wallace's book. You got it?
yeah, we do. We do. There we go.
Boom. Yes.
There we go.
Later, Sybil.
Bye, Jay. And please take a look at this, and we'll see you all tomorrow with Myra J. and Stephen Hill.
All right.
He can tell you about their first dance, but he can't remember my name. I'm his daughter.
Half of all black families are impacted by Alzheimer's, but we don't know why. At HSC, we are investing in a new research study to find solutions for your family. To join the research study, visit blackalzbrainstudy.com or call 817-735-2963.